And then mania Japan, all because of say, me die yeswa me so ye no, ebo manisa. Some time ago na me catch up say, very soon Obakoa, as a sawo jevisa. Na manfo bisas e odame, na ko de jevisa airport ben ye de ko jevisa. Nyankopon adaroma airport no abomu anisa because okwo yebenya airport. Kwahu Airport Limited. And do you know one thing? We may be at the airport neko. Kwahu Nkwantanai. Kura no be anim say any dino and ne Kwahu Nkwantanai. I hope be done airport residential city. Now, when him say the airport is going to be the airport with the longest runway in West Africa. Oh yeah, it's true. 4.0 kilometers. No, talk it. Minimum what it entails. And I'm this interview Beldan Construction Company Limited. Minya so pesi yesu dem am Beldan. Yeduwe nyina ya danse. Oh yeah. Apart from danse ye nya hwebiem. Etipo mo dia bra ni yesu dan mom sima. E was 70 zu kodanim. Ye go tie honorable yaw brand champion. The brain behind Kwahu Airport Limited.
In the next 20-30 years. Na yehwesane ya growth rate ni tie e woko mamu ha I was say etimi pay adwuma e ma nipa be between 50 to 100,000 outside of omo yekua adwuma no ne government sector and trading no e was say etimi nya adwuma e fa in juma pobia e directly employ between 50 to 100,000 people. Now that thinking and that planning, no, I was say CNA because yet now home sada no ever 2 years. You be do hodina say you man in day. You need what amount phone being behind there. Aye. And you know, yes, I think your friend of growth poles. And near my bit me dear see what in Numa ebe day ebe ba ewo. Now 5 growth poles are you identify as far back as 10 years ago. Edikan airport. Etosumienu Rock City. Etosumiensa tourism development. And 9 sports facilities. And inum educational expansion and infrastructure. Meka tourism development, there's the Ghana Heninana. Kwahu has the highest concentration of tourism sites than any other kilometer squared in the country. There were close to about 50 tourism sites. I bet me developing a my attraction na edi edwuma eden abre omanfo edwuma bebre. Yeka education expansion and development so a ebitifi hankwa ebitifi Kwahu East District ebitifi constituency. Your university, PUC, your teacher training college, Abetipo, your vocational training college, yes, which is under Ministry of Employment and Labor. Yes, I was APTEC, a technical training college, and finally was secondary school, Ebitifi Hankwa, who expanded to Kwahu East District. There were about 10 secondary schools, about 4 technical and vocational training colleges, who expanded into Kwahu, which is Kwahu West, Kwahu South, Kwahu East, and Afam Plains North and South. You are looking about close to about 30 secondary schools. It is a hub. If this thing is expanded well, a teacher for beba, lecturers beba, the cleaners beba, laborers beba, security beba, between Numa Abaha. Yeka, friend is saying, sports development. We are about 700 meters above sea level. And if you look at the way East Africa, because of height, they are able to develop very world-class athletes. We have the opportunity to do so. Every North Wahu, every South, and very well. Every about 2 as a 300 200 meters above sea level. And so one can also agree, was Rama, a higher 700 meters above sea level. And then if you look at the way terrain in Tiana, adding some sports facilities or using even our natural terrain in one, we can attract very high quality athletes and people in the society, which will in turn create jobs for us. Then the fourth one, I'm presently expanding Rock City. Now building up to be the biggest hotel in Africa, probably the 48th biggest hotel in the world, when completed. Now, I keep saying this thing over and over again that at 3,000 rooms, if that hotel alone is full, at double occupancy, which is 6,000 people, I will see a poultry industry. A producer will be a poultry industry will come and supply 12,000 eggs every day. And imagine the size of a poultry farmer and a cooperative farms are. A diverse supply, said in Kusiangwa. Makoka check for say from next year, tomatoes be a mobile biano. Rock City Kwabeto, in Nayan Hema, Kunkunzi for a major so Antono, to 4 ball, not tomatoes. So you can imagine what is going to happen to agriculture just by setting up that hotel alone. Currently, there were 208 workers. There were 208 workers, excluding construction staff. In a year's time, that number will jump to 700. In 2 years, we are projecting to hire about 1,500 people just to work in that hotel. Excluding suppliers, supply or farmer expansions, you can imagine, say, close to about 10,000-20,000 people will benefit directly from just that single facility. Then enters the fifth one, which is the airport project. Yes, it's quite an ambitious and audacious project, but we just have to do it. And to do it, the planning must start now. What are we trying to do? I mean, Mr. Pidu, the whole of Africa, we are unable to set up something as simple as flight training school, which is one of the things that we want to do, because we don't have the kind of facilities and the airports to be able to do that. Now, if you set up a flight training school, you have to set up a maintenance, you have to set up a service, you have to set up security and all those things. That single item now, a flight training school, is going to create close to about 200-300 jobs. And to be able to do that, you need an airport. Then number two, airport actually, Mr. Pidu tried to explain it. And now the Kokutukari. Yeah, the Bayrefi, Techima Niyechi, any up north, any from place, ever seen Kokutuka International Airport near. Well, our airport is probably 500 meters from the Volta Lake. Until near one now, we feel no Fubaninano. Go off the street, put it on the boat, bring it to our airport. Nemana Mudifia Farm Place and Mudikotema, friend is saying, Kutukani Tema, Aqua shipping. Bring it to our airport here, and then from here you can send it out so that you don't take those agro produce to Accra. But you see, that said, no, it means that you need to create warehousing facilities for this. And everything that comes around this thing, no, is an opportunity for jobs. But what you're saying? To set up that agro warehousing, maintenance, servicing, support, and all those things. No? It's an avenue for job creation in our area in the next 5 to 10 years. And now you have Burger King, KFC, NTBA, McDonald's. You know, these people, they ship their things from America and Europe into Africa. Into so how many chicken a bar, how many Ghana, no Nigeria, nobody because South Africa, nobody because. You see, there is no central processing facility. and warehousing facility with an airport at a cost where they can still make margins. So these people are not expanding into this part of town because the facilities are just not there. And we believe that by setting this thing up and setting up the requisite warehousing facilities, the global processing centers, for example, DHL, FedEx, they need a facility in this country or they need a facility in Africa where they can set up a massive sorting facility next to an airport. They can't afford, because of the way the margins are, they can't afford to, for example, put such a facility in Kotoka Airport. So what we intend to do is to provide an airport and the facilities and attract these kinds of people. Amazon, they don't have an African sourcing and processing center. Abrochi na eba Ghana na se eba Africa one-stop shopper one bit me the processing for Africa and then use much smaller planes to deliver or vehicles to deliver in the sub-region. So this is a mindset, this is a thinking to be able to have an airport where these global warehousing services can be provided. It translates into jobs. The whole of Africa. Say assembly or Africa, any part of Africa. Say yellow corn of the bread. It is stored in Dubai and Europe. African relief warehouses. And near to Africa, Africa sits in Dubai, and it sits close to an airport. Now, if Dubai ever Ghana, and if Dubai echo as a Burkina, and if Ghana echo Burkina, so I send to Burkina. If I bet me near Manefi a quantum. For now, it's Dubai because the Ghana is all the faka. And I said, there is no such airport. Of course, there are airports that can be used. And we want to make it such that our airport will attract the African relief warehousing from Europe and Middle East to Ghana. It's one of the key things that we target. Here, target is everybody. What will it translate to? Jobs for our people. Then, let's say I'm in Boeing 737 MAX. Any problem, and they had to ground thousands of such aircraft. And I say, if there's a global slump in air travel services, you have to park your planes. But you see, in the aviation sector, so baby are parking plane. I get $300 a day, and then $300 a day, and potentially, if you can have a plane car park, as we call it, to house a lot of planes, the whole African continent, not a single one. And the Brazilians, the South Americans are taking advantage of that. Yes, I see enough in Quantanaya, they call Sadai, why can't we convert it into such a facility and be able to attract quite some foreign exchange for our country? But you see, beyond that, apart from saying you are providing a plane parking service, you need to have a maintenance crew and then a servicing crew. So the car koshe garage and as the car could see warehouse. That is a servicing. But it is a title drawer. And as a woman is a cost party engine is to now has the name of that's maintenance. And you see, you have to train different categories of people to be able to support such a venture. So having that facility around, which is pretty much, close to an airport, paving the ground to be able to park this aircraft. We attract some foreign exchange to the country. We attract a local exchange to the pockets of the workers, and then we create jobs. Of course, if we have such an airport, it's an opportunity to be able to use it for local or sub-regional transport. So we have about 7 or 8 key points Your PSSR airport, it revolves around to create jobs for our people. And if we're able to do it in the next 5 to 7 years, it's going to be a long, hard road. The amount of bisa na me wafa London. I say Okoye airport Kwantana is ni ho, Lord Kwai ni ho, light ni ho. Okoye side we mamuna Okoye airport. You see, when we do these things will naturally come. And when this thing is accepted, some of the basic things will naturally come. Mami fee or Tantra Hill, and asphalt. But airport residential area na you asphalt because of the airport and the kind of people that live there. So when you do some things, certain things naturally come. Kwahu East and Kwahu, for that matter, will be born in our society in the next 10, 20, 30 years to come. And we shouldn't discount what we're doing. Thank you and God bless you.